pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. Okay, meeting called to order at 6:32. Okay, can I please have a motion to adopt and amend the agenda as is? There's no change on anything.
I'll make the motion.
Do you have a second?
Second, yeah.
All in favor? All right, so carried. Motion to amend and accept the minutes of the meeting September the 13th, 2020. May I please have that motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I'd like to add that this is April's first actual meeting that she did the minutes to, and I found that she did really, really well. Thank you,
Good.
Kimberly. Thank you.
Thank you, April.
You got to.
Motion to authorize budget transfer, if any, which we don't, so. Motion to pay audit vendors claim for September bills. A fund total $28,458.88. B fund $1,261.15. DB $293,583.85. May I please have that motion to pay the audit vendors for September bills?
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Motion to accept all correspondence. Oh, here comes Miss Debbie.
Sorry.
I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor? I said what they were.
You can.
Okay, we had a letter from the 29th for Felicia Dickinson, resignation from being a court clerk. She got a different job. And Kim Binkowski got one for the opportunity on broadband, and I had April today put that up on our webpage about broadband, but you can't hit the link, you have to type it in. Just so you know, right, April?
Yeah, the link is there, it's not,
They
not an
mailed us the
active link.
paper on it, so you can't hit the paper and get the link, so, but it is there for broadband. Public presentation, we have none. Motion to accept committee and departmental things. I just said I have a CAG meeting tomorrow, have someone go in there.
What's in that meeting?
CAG, C-A-G, and then, EPA, the EPA. And then, school meetings not till later in the month, so I don't have anything. Do you have anything for anything? Okay, I did.
Hi, Deb.
hi,
Okay.
seriously.
Building department report, Tom?
The building department, once again, another pretty busy month, considering everything going on with COVID and what have you. The building trades are still moving hot and steady. I mean, it's, unbelievable because of the prices of lumber. But, we had 35 transactions take place in the month of September. We've collected a little over $3,000. Little breakdown, we had 2 accessory apartment permits, 1 new building permit for a new structure, 10 certificates of compliance, 1 certificate of occupancy, 9 CO searches, a lot of houses being sold in the area, 1 fence, 1 garage. We've had a couple renewals, 5 roof replacements, 1 shed, roof-mounted solar panels, and we're still getting swimming pool permits being put in, both in-ground and above-ground swimming pools. And from what I understand, the reason for that is that swimming pools were almost non-existent all through the summer. There was just a backlog of swimming pools.
People get deals on this time of year too.
And then and now we're getting people who are getting,
I heard, but it was backordered for months.
I have had a couple individuals come in with some of the solar farm things and sitting down and talking with Kevin and I in the office and the direction that they're looking at going, and we're trying to ensure that they move in the right direction and are compliant with our town laws and state laws. Speaking of that, one of my jobs is to issue orders of compliance or orders of violation. It's a job that, it's been pretty lackadaisical the last couple of years. And I'm moving forward in doing those violations and those order to comply, with both our state and the New York State building codes, but our town laws. It's a job that, nobody likes to do, but, I'm moving forward and doing that and trying to enforce those laws. And with it, comes a little conflict. But like I said, we'll continue moving forward with it. Kevin and I are not intimidated by doing those jobs. We're just doing the job that was set before us.
Also, you should mention that you're on your last week of school
We are on our last week of school.
and that you passed your civil service test for flying colors, from what I heard. And so you did very well there, but your last week of school for Kevin and you is done. And then you'll get your total certificate, and we're working on that new program, right?
And as of that new program, I spent, was here a couple nights until about 6:30, working with both companies, with our IT people. We're hoping for a pretty smooth transition. The program that we currently have, the Municity, they put some locks on the program where we couldn't download things and obtain things. We communicated with Municity, communicated with IT, and then with iWorks, I was able to get everybody working together, created this somewhat perfect marriage, for the next 2 weeks. And we're hoping to go hot next week.
Good.
I will probably be here Friday and Monday, working in the office with IT and the new company to make sure everything's going. But so far everything's moving very smoothly, and by the end of October, it should become very, very simple for somebody to get a permit and to log all this online without having to come into the office. They could mail us a check and they could apply and do everything online. A lot of the inspections are going to be on-the-spot inspection where I can go out to the site or Kevin can go out to the site, and it's as soon as I take a picture. I purchased, under my own money, a Wi-Fi camera. It's linked to my vehicle, my tablet, and my phone. I take a picture, it's automatically put onto the program, as an inspection, and then, both Kevin and I can, real time,
Thank you.
with a lot of that stuff, so.
You're doing good, I appreciate it, and finished school this week. I didn't get an apple.
We will finish school.
Don't give teachers apple because I'm not a teacher. Thank you. Public comments.
So we just need a motion to accept.
A motion to accept building department.
I make the motion to accept the building department report.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Public comments. 14, thank you. Okay.
You can go first if you'd like.
No, go ahead.
Excuse me, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alex Potts. We're currently putting together the process to get an approval or to get a proposal together for a disc golf course at Volunteer Park. Just wanted to make sure that if there are any questions or if anyone has any comments, concerns, I'm available to talk here or at a later date. Just let me know.
Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. Ed?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I was very happy to hear that there's going to be increase in enforcement of both town and state law. That's very, very positive. Something that is going up and down over time, certainly. And I guess I'm a citizen of the town of Kinderhook, a citizen of the United States, whatever. And I think we all have an interest in our communities. And periodically, we choose new or reappoint old governmental agents. And what I would like to see more, I mean, you know, we all get the ads in the mail, all right? And very frankly, what I see missing in all of those are two things, two simple things. Number one, I'd like to know what their formal education is. Number two, I'd like to know what their experiential education is. Because the voters are going to put, either reappoint people or find new people to sit on the board. And I want to know who they are. The world is very complicated. It's never been more complicated than it is today. And if you can't handle all those complications, maybe you should spend your time someplace else. So I'm really concerned about that. I think the voters deserve more information and stop trying to quote what doesn't exist. All right, that's my view. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Always listen to you, Ed. You know that. Yes, Mike?
I know that you, or I got held up, so I know that you've already voted on the minutes, but I just wanted to clarify something. In speaking about the comments I made at the last meeting, it says that I spoke about the current state of gas prices and posed the question of whether there will be support for citizens. That's kind of not what I said. I was trying to express a concern about, with the prices, was there enough in the budget to assure that there would be gas supplies for the highway department?
Okay.
And Mr. Rochelle was at the meeting, I don't know if you see
No.
but anyway, he
He had said yes,
he
that
talked
he had
about
assured you that there
how
would
they,
be.
yeah, and everything's okay, so that's right there.
Okay.
There was concern expressed about the timeliness of the bill payments.
Can you repeat that, honey?
Yeah, there was concern expressed about the timeliness of bill payments from the town. And that's kind of a big issue because it gets the town in big trouble. If, for example, there's an account with a vendor that's not up to date, then you can be cut off from needed supplies. You can also end up getting a real slap on the wrist by the comptroller's office if you run into credit card fees. So I took a look at the history of how town finances have been discussed. And what I found was that starting with 2013, there was a half hour allowed before each town board meeting for the audit committee to review claims. Then in the last 2 years, partly because of COVID, but since coming back into in-person session, the audit committee is meeting at 6:15, and then the town board meeting meets at 6:30. It's 15 minutes to review what was always done in half an hour. I think it might be good to take a look at whether more involvement on the part of the audit committee in taking a look at the invoices and the dates and everything might be helpful. The other thing is that in the past, there were meetings of the Financial Oversight Committee. Not very many, but For example, in January 2018, a motion was made by Supervisor Grattan and seconded by Councilman to hold a fiscal oversight meeting for the new members of the town board and anyone else interested to go over bills and do a review of QuickBooks. They scheduled one for January 25th. There are a couple of other mentions over the years, but I haven't seen any mentions since 2018. So I'm thinking maybe it would be a good thing to schedule a financial oversight committee, which would involve obviously the entire board, and they can get a better read-in on what the practices and procedures are. Are they being followed? And maybe ask Mr. Patterson to join, that's our second CPA, and provide advice on ways to tighten it up or improve the processes and procedures. Last thing, on the calendar, you have listed, which I think is a great idea, the Fireman's Appreciation Day.
Right, I have to postpone that. I thought I took it down already.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's on the
Right,
calendar. but-
right. The firemen had trouble gearing it up and stuff, so.
Yeah, no, I absolutely,
You know.
approve that, but I would suggest that you change the name and make it Firefighter Appreciation Day.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's
I'll take that down now.
more in time.
April, can you take that down tomorrow?
Oh,
October the 16th.
no, there is one last thing. I think it would be a good idea if the board members check the recent released comptroller's audit of the town of Bern. The audit goes into a good deal of detail about what the expectations are of the actions of the board in reviewing the claims and where the town of Bern ran into some difficulties. And there's also suggested reading material there from the comptroller's office. And that might all help with getting things back on track with getting the invoices paid.
Invoices will be getting paid on time. Trust me, they are. The trouble is sometimes when our meeting falls in. But no, everything is paid. We are not behind on anything. We never have been really. A couple of things went into spam on the email, and then that was it. But we are totally paid up on everything, you know, and approves it. So he's more, so we're good. We're good on everything. So, anybody else?
A couple of things.
Can you say your name?
Yep, Jake Hall. I live in Niverville. So I was curious what happened with last month's meeting, and I looked on the website for the videos, and it looked like nothing's been uploaded since October of 2020. So I was just curious if maybe they're listed somewhere else. This was the link right on the homepage. I'm wondering if they're being posted somewhere else, or
They're up
We're
there.
They are, the link is in a different spot. I noticed that too, when I was looking.
so can somebody update that so that the homepage is correct, and we can.
It's not
catch
under
up on it?
videos, it's under somewhere else.
Yeah, there's like a big blue link, like 2/3 of the way down the
Yeah.
homepage.
That guy over there is recording all the videos, and it's
Yeah.
on the, whatever it is, the CC.
He puts it under
channel.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Which
The
they don't have a
Okay.
link on
link
the
will
website.
bring you to the last meeting until this new link goes up. But I'm sure there's a way I can get them on there.
Okay, yeah, there's
Yeah,
like
Osvaldo.
5 up there right now.
Osvaldo, would you handle that with April for me, please? Thank you.
In the minutes, I noticed you had mentioned the Board of Supervisors were pleased with the broadband access in Columbia County from the SMART meeting, and I think there has been a lot of progress there, but I'm wondering if there was any comments or discussion around the families who were struggling with like portable hotspots.
I got
and
one
coverage issues.
I just had one woman that asked me, but she does have broadband there, but she didn't like Spectrum.
Yeah,
So-
it can be expensive.
Right, so that was her issue there. So Consolidate's trying to meet with all of us. We have, actually, now I have addresses finally, of every house. And I'm waiting for the next broadband committee meeting for Spectrum. And Consolidate's gonna be there and with the county, and they're gonna give us their their actual way to have all these done. So we got the houses now and the addresses of locations. So I just received that, so that's a big start. I mean, it
Yeah, that's
was
awesome.
13.
We should be
Yeah, but the
promoting
one
that.
woman that contacted me, she has it, she just don't like it. No.
Well, hard to blame that. The other thing I noticed was the Cannabis Committee. It's our two mayors and you, the supervisor. I was curious if there were any public, like citizens who volunteered for the committee and weren't
Great.
selected, or?
We all selected one each. The two mayors suggested that we take one person, and I got one person. And if you get too many, you never get anything accomplished or listed.
Sure, but so it's not just the three who are listed in the minutes. There's other
The
citizens?
Mayor Dale Weiser has somebody, Mayor Frank Bevins has somebody, and myself has somebody. And we are gonna have a meeting coming up on that.
Oh, okay, so it's 6 people. It's the 3
Right,
and then
oh, yeah.
3. Okay.
So we're all learning.
So the minutes didn't reflect that, so I just wasn't sure if maybe that happened after, or?
Yeah, I've mentioned their names. Yeah, we mentioned all their names who we had.
I will go back and look. You named the mayors by name, but I don't know that the citizens were named, but I can go back.
Because I
and
remember
look.
Keith Stack, I remember saying his.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember him, but I don't remember this.
Who are they? Then we can just put them on these.
yeah, we'll just put them on.
What's the one?
Tina Lang
Tina Lang,
from
Pat-
Kinderhook, and Patrick,
Patrick.
I don't know his last name, he's from Galatia, but I'm Frank Bevins now.
Great. And I do have it up in my folder.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Because I have all the, and Keith Stack is I picked Keith Stack.
That was it, thanks.
Thank you. We didn't have a lot of response.
No,
We thought we would.
I'm surprised.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
So I got 2 questions. You mentioned that you got some houses, like you got a list of information on houses. Does that tell how many houses don't have access to broadband?
It's their addresses that don't have.
Right, which is how many? How many houses?
13.
Just 13 houses?
Mm-hmm. Town of Kinderhook.
And the other thing is that the minutes from the last meeting indicated that Matt Nelson brought up the fact that some of the board members aren't wearing their masks correctly, and that was me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I just don't want it to make it sound like it was Matt when it wasn't Matt, it
okay.
was me.
My apologies. I'll fix that also.
Thank you.
It was April's first time.
Yeah,
I know.
You guys put beating on
I
it.
know, it's
right?
okay.
Just getting beat up
I should have
tonight.
said.
Not for
everyone
Washington,
needs
D.C.
to- I should have said
Man.
everyone needs to state their name before making a public comment. So if we can do that from now on, that'll
Yeah.
work great.
Yeah. So state your name.
Yeah, say your name.
Michael Miller.
Anybody else? All right, old business. So I contacted the state, they're still working on the speed reduction. A lot of people are finally getting back into the office, and that was the problem, why it's not being done so well. So, they have it, so we're just typical state, we have to wait, unfortunately.
Patsy,
Yeah,
on that note, I'd still like to explore the possibility on the Old Post Road of maybe making it one way from CarQuest to,
we have to,
like where
we
the
have to
stop
do,
sign is.
don't we have to do, Andy on that one?
Yeah, we'd have to, I think we should get the speed first, and then.
And then
They'd have to-
for that, okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, there's quite a few cars, so I wanna do the.
Oh, yeah.
So they do have it, the county sent it up.
Yeah.
And, everything, all the paperwork was done, and I sent all the petitions and everything else, so that part it's just the state that is just gonna take, but I think the speed reduction will be first, cause then they can
Yeah.
see why, we need to slow down on that little stretch anyhow. I
It's
agree.
gonna be a learning curve for me, because I actually always go that way, so I'm hurting myself by suggesting this, but I think that I just don't want it to go to the wayside.
Easier to use a light than that.
Yeah,
I
it
always
is,
go the
it is
light.
easier to use light, but I never do, so. But I will.
Okay.
It's one way.
And same thing with the soul, there's nothing new on the soul law amendment, Phil, right, on the, local law?
We've had 2 meetings, and then we're having a Zoom meeting next week, followed up by a in-person meeting with Ian Latimer from NYSERDA,
Night sort of, right.
who's our man to help guide us through that. And then coincidentally, we have solar law workshops courtesy of Columbia Land Conservancy coming up. Those would be
Yeah, I forwarded you
Zoom
that,
calls
yeah.
or whatever. I'd really like by December to have something concrete to present to the board.
Be nice.
And I will say, I mean, it's fascinating, and then it's also a bit of a rabbit hole, because it's just, wow, the deeper you get into it, the more there is. There's so many questions to be answered, but I think somebody said earlier, there's a point too where you just have to go for it. I mean, I think we could spend the next 10 years trying to get it absolutely perfect. And that's, we can only make it so good, I will admit that. And I'm happy to see that Meg's gonna join our committee, or has joined our committee.
I'm in a supporting role only.
That's how it starts. The next thing you know, it's a lead role, so.
Never.
Get you there, but, so I'll clue you in on more info. So that.
Okay. New business. So we are having a special meeting with the board and the people on the committee on the 18th of this month at, 6:30 here on the cannabis. We're all learning, and Amelia was at our thing. Not a lot has come in course of what's going on. They formed the committee finally. I think there's one more person they have to fill up. And so we're just going to pretty much present to you what we've learned and what we know, which is pretty much the same thing, and whatever questions so we can go forward. Everybody, the two mayors have, I believe, would like their own public hearing possibly also for their villages, but they will be here also. And that way in the board, so then we all know and can move forward. We have to the end of December to finish this up, so that I think we're trying to give everybody time, and we're just going to do it for an hour and just see what we have going on. And I keep trying to get more information. Frank and I both have been trying, so the more we get, the better off we'll be able to tell you on that. I don't have to, so you have to make a motion on, I don't, so take note that will be also in the paper for a special meeting on the 18th at 6:30 about the cannabis, for the board and for the Cannabis Committee, and answer any questions. If it gets too big, I'll have to move it to the gym.
Rogers.
Huh? Patrick Rogers.
I found my notes.
I'm terrible with names as I got older. I don't know all, but I know mine, I think. Okay, so next you, the clerk to
Me?
accept, yeah.
So I present you the 2022 tentative budget. Bob Patterson did a summary of what to expect. There's a wish list for everybody at this point. This will be now looked at by the board in the next couple of workshop meetings, which are going to be October 6th and October 20th.
What time are those meetings?
So, at 6.
At 6.
Yeah. And it'll be here, so,
Oh, it is.
and just take a look at it. And
So the 6th and the 20th.
there it is. I can
Okay.
take a motion on that.
Make a motion to accept the tentative budget.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. 1H1 building use. Okay, Kinderhook Basketball Association has canceled their time here due to CDC rules, so they will not be using our building. Northeast Center for Spiritual Growth will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 to 8 p.m. AARP conference room starting 1/4, right? Is that
AARP is starting February 1st through April 14th.
Here it is, 2/1 to April 14th. Okay, and then Valatia Free Library in the gym at 10:30 from 5 to 8. They're doing a movie, I believe, isn't it? A movie presentation, so can I please have
April
a...
actually.
Yeah, it's a secondary location for a movie that they're trying to hold outside, but it's just for weather.
Oh, weather, okay, all right. May I please have a motion on those for use of the buildings?
I'll make a motion to accept these applications.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Rabies Clinic, 11/6, from 2 to 3 will be cats, from 3 to 4 will be dogs. I need a motion to hire Norman Scholl to set up and clean up from 1:30 to 4:30 that day. It'll be held in the gym, we do it every year here. May I please have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Can I
Aye.
just ask what the rate of pay is for that?
Free.
Oh, it just says higher.
Oh, for him, he gets $15 an hour.
Okay, thank you.
I meant for him, I thought you meant for
Sorry.
the dog.
Can you, April, can you put that in the minutes at the
$15 an hour.
Sure.
That's what he gets.
Thanks, Sally.
Change November town board meeting from the 2nd to the 8th. May I please have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. No groups are allowed in the building on November the 1st and November the 2nd due to the election being held here. Just so you know. We're accepting a resignation of Felicia Dickinson as court clerk. May I please have that motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the resignation of Felicia Dickerson as
That
court
is-
clerk.
Does that have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I need a motion to accept Jennifer Bob as court clerk for Judge Delahunt. May I please have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
That's
Aye.
aye.
So carried. Volunteers Park Facilities will be closing November the 8th for the winter. The water is going to be shut off then, and I've contacted the plumbing and so forth, and Lee Norton will close it up. So I don't need a motion, but just telling you so we don't have broken pipes. Approve supervisor leader to attend a conference on 10/28 to 10/29, and it's about the legalization of marijuana for New York State. Can I please have a motion for that?
Betsy, is there a cost for that?
The hotel's $183 a night.
Are you saying one night or 2 nights?
I'm saying both, I don't drive. I forgot to put price, sorry about that.
Is there a price for a conference or just?
The conference is gonna be free as long as you make a reservation.
Okay.
It's, actually 2.5 days of it, the conference.
Need a motion on that.
I need a motion on
I'll
that.
make that motion.
I'll
Second,
second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Public comments. Limit rate issues raised at the meeting.
It's actually not a comment, but I just had read an article, I think it came out today. The Cannabis Control Board for New York State is gonna be meeting tomorrow, I believe, at 1:30. So you may get more information soon.
Thank you. Anybody else? Public comment? Board comments?
No.
Media questions? Oh my God, this is like one of the easiest ones. We don't have to go into executive session. Can I please have a what? Does someone raise
You
their
want to go
hand?
into session or not?
That's up to.
No,
up to you.
no.
Okay.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Good night, everybody. Get home